Did you know that going from 30% body fat down to 10% body fat is actually a very realistic and achievable goal? In today's video, I'm gonna give you an exact step-by-step guide to do so. All right, so what's the problem? I think there's a large portion of people, especially guys in the age range of 18 to 40, which is, if I check the analytics on this channel, that's most of the people that watch this channel. You might be one of those people who used to be fit, maybe you played sports in high school or college, and then you just started to slowly get out of shape. You started eating not terribly, but just eating a lot more extra calories, started drinking on the weekends, and maybe your exercise routine suffered, or you weren't playing those other sports that used to help you burn all those calories. So inevitably, you start a family, you start working, career gets more important, and all of a sudden you find yourself at this like 30% body fat wondering, I didn't used to be like this, so how do we get back to that 10%? And by the way, for me, this is the exact story that I went through. I used to be 260 pounds. I was a football player. I was around like at my heaviest, that like 26 to 30% body fat. And I just wanted to make the change. So a lot of what I'm going to talk about in today's video is exactly what I did and what I still continue to do to make sure that I'm lean year round and have kept 70 pounds off for the past 12 years. Before we get into the first component, which is food, I want you to already tell yourself in your head, if you are trying to go from 30% body fat down to 10% body fat, give yourself 9 to 12 months to do this. Some of you are going to be able to do this in 6 months, but I want you to do this slow and gradually so you actually create the habits that once you lose the weight, you'll be able to sustain the weight loss forever. If you lose all this weight it's too drastic, you go on too much of a cut and you lose it really fast, you're going to gain the weight back and it's not even going to be worth it. So just tell yourself, I'm gonna give myself 9 months to 12 months to do this, knowing that, hey, if I finish it in 7, cool. Part number 1, food. I'm getting this out of the way right now because if you do not listen to what I'm saying about food, the video is kind of pointless and it's going to be really hard to lose weight. The reason that you are able to lose weight and body fat is because you are consistently in a calorie deficit. So the easiest way to ensure that you are in a calorie deficit is by controlling the amount of food you're putting in your system. So the first thing I want you to do, go to this macronutrient calculator that we've created. It's up here on the screen. And in a second, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm literally gonna do the screen share and show you guys exactly how to calculate your calories and macronutrients so that you can begin tracking them. There's a timestamp somewhere right here if you wanna skip this whole part because you already know how to use calorie and macro tracker and you know how to use MyFitnessPal, then just skip ahead to here where I start talking about the workouts. But if not, come with me. We're gonna calculate our calories and macros right now.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna go over to the Jump Rope Dudes fitness calculator, which is jumpropedudes.com/fitness-calculator. I'm gonna do this as if I'm still 260 pounds, okay? Just so you can get a more realistic look at this. Okay, so I'm 260 pounds, 75 inches. Make sure those are right. That's the big thing. A lot of people say like sometimes the numbers are off. Make sure that you're using the correct height and weight, whether it's metric or imperial. I'm going to do light exercise because this is assuming like I'm not super active because I want to lose weight. So light exercise, the goal is lose weight. Now I am a mesomorph. I'm someone that I'm not like a really skinny person, but I also wouldn't say I'm genetically like thicker. I'm kind of in that middle zone where like I can lose weight somewhat easily, but I do tend to I'm a bigger boned person, I guess you'd say. It's like hard for me to be really skinny. My body and my genetics just don't really allow that. Okay, so we are gonna calculate this. This is what it's gonna give me. My total calories for the day, 2611. And now here's a little, not so much trick, but that's a lot of carbs. 300 grams of carbs is a lot. At the end of the day, calories is what matters most, but I have noticed that I tend to feel less hungry and I do feel like I look a little bit leaner when I go higher on the protein and fat. So all we're gonna do is you're gonna come up here and select endomorph. So this is assuming that you're a bigger person. So what that's gonna do when we hit recalculate, it's gonna keep our calories the same, but it's gonna lower the carbs, increase the protein, and increase the fat, okay? So if I wanted to start losing weight gradually, this right here, 2611, is how much I would be eating per day.
All right, another quick thing I want to say about calorie and macronutrient calculators. I compared our calculator to ChatGPT. I searched on Google for like other types of AI macro calculators. They all gave me the same amounts. maybe a little bit different, but all in all, what I'm saying is you can use our calculator, you can go to ChatGPT, you can search for a random one on the internet. The numbers are not all going to be perfectly the same. The idea with counting calories and knowing how much you're supposed to be eating is that you start to understand how much you're eating so that you can make adjustments from there. But if you don't know your starting point and how much you're putting in, it's going to be impossible to get all of this right. And then you're going to keep working out and exercising, but wondering why you're not actually losing weight. So the second thing, so now that you know, for me anyway, it's like I'm supposed to eat 2,500 calories per day to lose weight. And it gave me the macro breakdown. I'm going to enter my food into MyFitnessPal. And once you hit that, you stop eating for the rest of the day. Along with recording your meals in MyFitnessPal, start weighing yourself at the same time, I would say in the morning, 1 time per week. So my recommendation to you would be like Wednesday, Thursday morning, every morning. Let's say you wake up at 7 a.m. Every Wednesday at 7 a.m., that's when you weigh yourself. Same thing for taking progress photos. Progress photos, I would do more like every other week, but again, same time. So Wednesday morning, 7 a.m., in front of your bathroom mirror with the light going on, preferably in the same, like in your underwear or some shorts. So being able to see your progress on the scale and through photos is going to help you immensely. If you see that you're starting to gain a little bit of weight or body fat, then just drop your calories by 100 or 200. Keep eating that way for the next couple of weeks, and then look at your photos again and see what needs to be adjusted. And by the way, I know this might sound complicated and like a hassle. It is at first, but I promise you, like, dude, I haven't counted calories for like the past 5 or 6 years, and I just know exactly what I need. I know if I need to lose weight, I know if I want to gain a little bit of muscle, that will happen. But this is the starting point. This is what I had to do. It's what everyone has to do. So next thing, you're probably like, well, Dan, what am I supposed to eat with this, system? And I'm gonna go ahead and make this really simple for you. All right, guys. As you can see here, this is my updated food list. Up on the screen here is a link. You can actually get this in PDF format. It just shows you like what my food list is. The reason I'm showing you on here is because I've added a few things to it. But if you want the PDF that you can print out and like put on your wall or something. So here's my food list. This is exactly how I eat. During the week, I pretty much just eat these couple of snacks and fruit during the day. And then I have one very large meal at night that consists of most of my protein. So a typical day for me is to eat like an orange, bananas, nuts, maybe a little bit of popcorn or a rice cake. But the point I'm trying to make is I don't really have a strict meal. I sort of fill my calories with like banana, a little bit of almond butter, then a couple hours later, some nuts and an apple. Like I said, maybe some Greek yogurt. So throughout the day, I'm slowly eating about 1,000 to 1,200 calories. And then at night, that's when I have my bigger meal, which as you can see up here, here's a standard meal for me. I will cook a pound of ground beef. Maybe I'll put a little honey and sriracha in there. I'll cook 3 to 4 fried eggs. I'll put kimchi and ginger, maybe some onions and garlic in there as well. But point being, that's like a really high calorie meal, anywhere from like 1,200 calories, 1,800 calories. So for me, that pretty much just knocks out my day right there. And that's how I eat during the week. Now, I left a few notes down here at the bottom because they're important with lifestyle and making sure that you're hitting your calorie goals. Okay, first thing, I eat salads, for example, like tonight. I wanted to eat a little bit lighter, so I bought a salad. But I don't really eat greens except if I'm getting salads or if I'm going out to a restaurant, like typically a steakhouse, and getting asparagus, broccoli, or Brussels sprouts. I will admit, I used to eat a lot more greens, but I feel like I get that with green juice. And I also just eat a ton of fruit. So I'm not someone who's making like asparagus every single night for dinner. I also don't think it's necessary, but that's beside the point. You have to calculate all this, by the way. Like even though I'm still eating healthy food, you still have to like factor that into how much you're eating. And then the weekends, that's when I usually go out to eat. And to be honest, I kind of eat the same as I would at home, but I allow myself to indulge a little bit more. So for example, if I go out to eat, I might get a steak and broccoli, but I also might get a side of French fries or a dessert. And obviously the steaks when you go out are cooked in a lot more oil and stuff like that. So it's not as healthy, but I try to not go too crazy. And again, my portions are just not massive. I'm not like eating 7,000 calories each day on the weekend. I also save this time for pizza or burgers, ice cream, cheat meals. You guys don't want to do cheat meals. I used to do cheat meals, and the whole concept of it, I think, just really messes with your head because it trains you to sort of think that like eating a bunch of highly processed crappy food is good for you because you deserve it, or you sacrificed all week. For me personally, it gave me a really bad eating disorder, and it made me not have a good relationship with sweet food, and it made me overeat a lot. So my recommendation would be everything I just told you. All right, guys, well, we're finally through food. Now we're gonna talk about workouts. For working out, I am literally gonna tell you exactly what workouts to do. You have 3 different options for what workouts to do. But first, let's talk about the idea behind it. So for your workouts, to go from 30% body fat to 10% body fat, you need to do 2 things. You need to have a resistance training routine, and you need to have a cardio routine. Resistance training mean either you need to be in the gym lifting, or you need to be doing push-ups and pull-ups. And then cardio, obviously, I'm gonna suggest jump rope. You can do running if you want, or swimming, or some other form, but this is a jump rope channel, so I'm gonna suggest that you do jump rope. So doing resistance training doesn't just help burn calories, it helps you build muscle. And if you build muscle, more muscle requires more calories, so it helps to speed up your metabolism. The more muscle mass you have, the more calories you're able to burn, the more lean you're able to stay. So adding muscle is a very good thing, and you're not gonna get too bulky, so don't worry about it. Not that guys are worried about that, but you get my point. Secondly, you have to do cardio. Cardio burns calories. It makes it easier to stay in a calorie deficit because of the extra calorie burn, and you are just gonna be a healthier and better functioning human. I'm not really in agreement when people say like, oh, cardio doesn't matter. There's a ton of amazing benefits to doing cardio for your internal organs and just your overall longevity, so don't skip it. Now, the question is, how do we get both of these 2 components? So here's option 1. This is how easy this is, dude. This is what I'm saying. This is so easy. I listed a workout right here. You can click on it. It's linked right there. It's like a 40-minute jump rope workout where all you're doing is jumping rope. So I want you to do this workout 3 times a week. Could be, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. I don't care, but I want you to do this workout 3 times per week. In addition to that, I want you to do 100 push-ups and 50 pull-ups. Now, you're probably saying, well, Dan, I can't do 50 pull-ups. That's okay. Do 20 pull-ups and do sets of 2. You can change these numbers based off of what you are able to do. The point is, we're trying to get a super simple routine so that you start to see results, and it's not that complicated, so that you stick to it. I guarantee you're gonna start to see some kind of progress, and that's when you can really dial it in and be like, okay, this is working. I'm gonna increase a little bit more, or I'm gonna decrease, or you can go into option 2. Go to the YouTube channel, find 3 to 4 workouts on YouTube that utilize lower body weight, upper body weight, jump rope, maybe a little bit of heavy rope, and just do those 3, 4, you can even pick 5 workouts and do those 3 to 4 times per week. That hits your body weight and your cardio. Option number 3 is to join something like the Jarity app and start doing the dumbbell program. Not gonna lie, the Jarity app is really sick. I would check it out. We have a little bit of a free trial, but I'm not gonna keep selling you on it. If you wanna lose weight and you wanna do like a 3-month program that's structured, the dumbbell program or the heavy rope program, those would be my choices for you to check out. So go ahead and check that out. All right, number 3, walking. Walking is so easy. Walking burns extra calories. Walking clears your head. Walking removes stress. Walking is like, it's exercise, but like it's not. Like you don't need to put in effort to go on a walk. So if you can get somewhere in the range of 7 to 10K steps per day, or even if it's just 5K steps, that's okay, dude. Or set a weekly goal. Like I'm gonna get 25K steps in weekly. Whatever that is, just try and hit that, because I promise you, it will just make being lean easier. I can trace the times where I was the leanest to not only am I doing jump rope and bodyweight exercises, which I'm always doing, but when I am walking the most, I just effortlessly am able to stay a lot more shredded. So walk. It's good for you. Number 4, stop getting wasted. I like drinking beers. Dude, I like to have fun. I enjoy a little bit of alcohol, but dude, it's horrible for you. It makes your physique look bad. It makes your skin look bad. And even though I enjoy it, I know these things. And I always like, if I have a fun night out or there's a weekend with friends, I try to detox in the days following that, just because, dude, alcohol is terrible for you. And if you are actually serious about going from 30% to 10% body fat, one of the biggest things I'm guessing that you need to cut out is alcohol. Number 5, I talked about this a little bit. Reduce your sugar and processed carb intake. It has become so easy for me to stay lean because I just don't eat donuts and cookies and cake and all that stuff like I used to. I'm telling you, sugar and alcohol is what makes you stay thicker, like more bloated, skin irritated, red. It's not good for you because it's not what we're supposed to be eating. We're supposed to be eating real food. And I promise you, the more real food that you eat, you will start to crave that food more, and it will become easier to not eat all the junk food. And by the way, for people who are like drinking soda and eating cookies and cake, I know that that might seem impossible to quit. You know, we're gonna gradually do it. The less and less you are gonna crave those super indulgent foods because you're just gonna start not feeling as good when you eat them, which is what happened to me. Number 6, sleep as much as possible. I know that not everyone can get 8 hours a night. I'm not saying to do that. I know that's unrealistic for a lot of people. So sleep as much as you can. Do not stay up late at night watching TV when you don't need to be. If you can go to bed and get 5 solid hours instead of 3, get the 5. If you can get 6 hours, get 6. If you can get 7, get the 7. But I'm just saying, sleep as much as possible. It will just make your life better and recovery faster. And you'll just feel better and less stressed. And I mean, it makes sense, dude. Like, just sleep. It's good for you. All right, the last thing I want to leave you guys with is be patient, dude. I cannot stress this enough. I wouldn't put this much time into making a video like this if I didn't really want you to understand what I'm saying, because dude, I was there. I was 260 pounds. I just didn't have a system to plug into. I didn't have a consistent workout schedule, and I had no idea what I was doing with food. So if you can do these things, I promise, as you start to lose weight, you will become more motivated, you will feel better, and the more that you practice these habits, it will make them easier as you get older. It was a lot harder when I started, and it has gotten so much easier and enjoyable at this stage of my life. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I feel like, dude, I feel like I'm eating good food that helps me get to my goals. I'm still able to enjoy dessert and some drinks when I want without having it wreck my progress. I'm able to perform at a high level. I'm able to surf. I have really good endurance. I'm flexible. Like, there's a lot of things that I feel like getting in shape and staying in shape have added to my life. I think being fit and healthy also makes a lot of other things in your life easier. That's my spiel for today. Please hit us up. Please hit me up in the comments. Ask me any and all questions. I'll do my best to answer them, but I want this to be a video that you can come back to again and again. And don't forget, if you want a more structured plan for losing weight, join the JRD app. That's linked up right here. Super appreciate you guys for tuning in to today's video, and let me know if you have any questions. Keep doing the thing, y'all.